Oh, hey everyone. Just wanted to preface this video by saying this is a totally different video than I normally do, and it's because it's going to be a video all about me and my backstory and how I grew into YouTube and my YouTube journey. And my cousin Joel from Fish and Fly with Gus, he wanted to make this video about me and my backstory because he thought, you guys are maybe curious on my backstory and how I got into YouTube. So definitely stick around if you want to see that. I do have a crime video coming out tomorrow, so you'll get that one as well. Yeah, sit back, enjoy if you guys want to get to know me and my backstory.
Keep on going, like you can only go up.
From here.
Only go up from here. So that's what we're gonna do, and hopefully all of you guys can hang around for both of our channels. I need to take more advantage of the scenery and come here more often.
I'm honored to tell you a story about my cousin, Harmin. No, he doesn't fly airplanes or even go fishing yet. But what he does do is go on some really cool adventures around the country and around the world, visiting some amazing places and retracing the steps of some pretty infamous killers.
You guys have no idea how much of a struggle it is to climb through this like 8-foot tall bamboo and weeds forest.
He's been vlogging for over 4 years, sharing his passion through his YouTube channel, Infamous Crime Locations, and he's uploaded 350 videos and counting. His subscribers are loyal followers who love his work, but don't know much about his personal life. So this is my attempt at giving Harmin the time and space to connect with his audience in a more intimate and lighthearted kind of way.
Today's episode is going to be all about me. This is the first. Usually I do episodes on crime events and those things. I never do anything about me. So if you guys want to learn more about me and why I started my channel, why I'm doing what I'm doing, stick around.
Awesome.
You guys know me as Harmin. I always say, like, hey, my name's Harmin. So you're probably wondering that's my last name. Like, it's my name, or my first name is not Harmin. So, but anyway, so yeah, my first name's Eric. And the way all that kind of started was I have another good friend named Eric, and the way to distinguish both of us was to just call me by my last name. So just Harmin. That's just ever since high school. It's just always been Harmin.
You'll answer to anything, huh?
Yeah, pretty much. I have a dozen or so nicknames also.
Oh, do tell. What are a couple of those?
So to go with Eric Harmin, eHarmony has always been kind of the main one throughout high school because it's just perfect. I mean, you just add a Y to my last name and then it's like boom, eHarmony. So and then yeah, I've gotten other ones like White Chocolate.
That's because of the thug in you, huh?
Yeah, I played basketball with these dudes, and they're like, you're like the best like white basketball player out of all of us, because they were black, and so they're like, oh, you're the best white basketball player we know. So White Chocolate, which is ironic because I don't even really like White Chocolate as like a chocolate bar. I hate it. So and my family tree is kind of complicated because I was adopted, and so I have my birth family, and then I have like my adoptive family. So, and then my mom got remarried, so I have like a step family. So I have like three families kind of in a weird way. But anyway, so I have my brother, which is part of my adoptive family. And then I have my 3 sisters from my birth side of the family. And then I have 2 step siblings. I can't say enough amazing things about both my parents. Just absolute amazing, nice gems of people. Unfortunately, I didn't get a long chance to be with my dad, as he passed away when I was 14 years old. He got cancer basically right when we moved up to Washington in 1999. As I said, like, you know, the cancer started progressing, and so like the first thing that happened was they had to remove his leg. It got like a huge tumor in his leg, so they had to remove it, and so he lost his leg, which, you know, to most normal people, like, you would be like extremely pissed, but for him, he became like more of like the life of the party. Like, he actually, like, if you were around, like, you would notice like how joyful he was, which again, you wouldn't expect someone like that to be joyful in that setting. He loved to tell jokes, just hilarious, and he would still come out and play baseball with us, even though he was like hobbling around on one foot. So, you know, it just like the best memories are basically the ones where after he got cancer, we would go and spend tons of time with him when he was at the hospital, and we got really close watching our poor Mariners who can't seem to win worth anything. I believe that he was able to be so carefree and joyful throughout, you know, what would normally be like one of the worst, you know, parts of your life. You know, I definitely attribute that to his faith in God, and I think, you know, he was able to be like a huge witness in the hospital. Yeah, I've never had this much cameras on. It's like a TMZ or whatever. Like,
Celebrity status.
That's hilarious.
How would you describe your personality, and are you an introvert or extrovert? And tell me a little bit about how people would describe your personality.
That is a great question. So, even though I have a YouTube channel, and even though I appear to be always happy, outgoing, all that kind of stuff, if you were like around me all day, every day, you would notice I'm extremely introverted. If it's someone I don't know or a big group of people, I'm pretty quiet. I do push myself to be a little bit more outgoing, at least on camera, because, you know, it makes a better video, and, you know, I want to connect with you guys better, and I don't want to sound all monotone, so you gotta act out and push yourself a little bit, you know. So I don't know, like, ever since like the last, I don't know, like 4 or 5 years, I've really kind of developed a lot of social anxiety. And again, it kind of comes back down to whenever I'm in a new situation or a lot of people, I get extremely nervous. I think everyone's a work in progress, and I think that there's always things you can change or fix or work on. I think the more I do things, the more I get talking with people, I think the better it'll be. Yeah, when it comes to the females, that is the main thing that I am extremely shy with, and I struggle with. And at this point, I mean, yeah, I'm single. I would like to fix that or change that. Definitely would like to find someone. If you happen to know anyone who's single, let them know. Harmin's on the loose. I don't know. So.
Hey, maybe that's what we'll call the video.
Hey, Harmin's on the
loose.
So, you know, eventually, yeah, I would love to have a family. I would love to have kids someday. That is something I would like to have.
You went to college. Mm-hmm. Tell us what you studied and what you learned and how that experience was for you.
Yeah. My initial direction for my career was something in law enforcement. I ended up getting a bachelor's degree in law and justice, and so that was kind of my initial goal. My first job, I actually worked at the prison, which is in our hometown. I worked as one of the correctional officers there. It was an extremely eye-opening experience. What you see on TV and movies and all that is not what goes on, at least in the prison that I worked in. I can't speak for every prison. It wasn't as terrifying or scary, or, you know, like you feel like you're gonna die or something, you know. Anytime they come out of the chow hall or the food hall or whatever, they're only allowed to bring in or to bring out like 2 items, like, period. So one time a guy came by, I patted him down. I was like, bro, you have way more than 2 items here. And he was like, I don't care, what are you gonna do about it? So I was like, you're either gonna give me all the stuff you have and I'll let you keep 2, or if you are gonna be a jerk about it, then I'll take all of the things and you're gonna stay in your cell for the whole day. And so he kept being like, kind of like trying to push the boundaries and everything. And so finally he's like, okay, here, you want it? And then he grabbed one of the apples he had and he threw it as hard as he could at me, and it went like right by my head and it splattered on the wall behind me. That was definitely a little bit of a scary instance. In all like totality, it was a fine job, not as bad as it appears.
Did you ever have to take the pepper spray in your training?
Oh,
Tell me about
there's a story and a half. Anytime that you get a job in some sort of law enforcement capacity, at least that I know of, you have to get pepper sprayed and tased. And the reason why they do that is because they want you to feel what it's like to be pepper sprayed and tased. And that way, once you use that on someone else, you get you understand what it feels like, and so you're not just going to use it willy-nilly. So for my training, I had to get pepper sprayed and tased. And I will tell you, 100%, being pepper sprayed is a million times worse than being tased. And I'll tell you why. So the way it works is they have you cover one eye, kind of like this. And so you'll close your eyes and they'll spray like a line of the pepper spray on your forehead. And then they'll say, all right, open your eyes. And then the pepper spray will just start dripping down into your eyes. And 100% without any doubt, that was the worst, absolute worst pain that I've ever experienced. Right away, I don't know how it affects everyone differently, I'm guessing, but for me, it immediately knocked me to the ground. I was blind, physically blind. I couldn't see for about 30 seconds. I tried to open my eyes and I physically, I couldn't. And so I was getting like shock, like panic. But during all that, I had to pick up a radio, make a fake radio call, punch a dummy like 20 times while I'm trying to deal with the pain and not being able to see well. And then you had to cross like half a mile or a quarter mile, walk after that. So the way the instructor described it, he said, imagine getting a pickaxe, lighting it on fire, and then stabbing that in your eye. That is what he described the pain as. And again, I've never been shot in the eye or pickaxe in the eye, but I can say that it was a very good description of how bad the pain was. And the sun glare is just right. It's great, not, right? Not bad.
Yeah, it's
yeah.
Good. When did you start your YouTube channel and why?
2016, I started my YouTube channel. I love it. Blooper reel. I was like, I should try taking some videos of what I'm seeing in Norway, because I went and did reindeer feeding, actual reindeers. I did some dog sledding, saw like the Northern Lights and all that, and so I was like, I should do some videos of these things, just to document it. And it was kind of like in the middle of filming those things, I was like, I should make a channel, like a YouTube channel, and just start putting videos on there. So my original first few videos was of my trip to Scandinavia, and then it kind of evolved to like my original passion, which was abandoned places. And
what is it about abandoned buildings that kind of beckons you to go in, to investigate?
Something about just seeing, going into a place where you just know that there used to be a ton of people in this place, and all of a sudden now there's nothing. And just seeing like the trees, the vines, the grass coming into the building, and just kind of seeing picturing what it used to look like. I probably went to at least 20 countries in all Europe, Scandinavia, and Japan. I went to like South Korea for like 1 day, which isn't much, but at least I went there.
What prompted you to buy a motorhome and travel the U.S.? And
I got this random idea that popped in my head, and I was like, wouldn't it be fun to either buy or rent, a motorhome RV where I could travel around the United States, be able to just live in the RV, save money on hotels and all that, and be able to just go wherever I wanted to go, and go to as many states as possible. And I was like, that would be a fun idea. Like all the ins and outs on, like, you have to make sure that there's propane and like gas for like the furnace and the stove and the fridge, like all these different things, and then you have to empty the freaking sewer tank. And if you've never done that, well, let's just say it's a crappy situation.
What is the process of making content and building a YouTube channel taught you about yourself and others?
So like before I started my channel, I had no experience in filming or editing or like putting a video together, like all that kind of stuff. I had no experience whatsoever. Hundreds and hundreds of different clips and audio and like pictures, and like on average it takes me like 4 to 6 hours to edit one video, and I'll have like an hour and a half of film that I shrink down to an average of 15 minutes. This is like 2 full-time jobs like combined, like if you put it all together. And then if you don't know like how the money works on YouTube, like unless you're getting like 100,000 views every video, you're really not making a whole lot. I mean, I don't really talk about it much, but like I'm only making like $80 a month overall on my channel every month, $80 a month, which, yeah, that's something and it's cool, but like if you think about it, of all the money I've put in, like $8,000 or more probably, and all the flights and stuff that I've gone to.
I want to know, how deep do you have to dig, and where are the places you go in your mind and your soul to find the energy and the strength and the drive to push through despite the lack of results?
There's been numerous times where like I literally was thinking of just giving up, like quitting, doing no more YouTube, just stopping. And that's just the stark reality of having so much ambition and goals, and then when that doesn't happen, it does weigh on you, and it's a very kind of negative depression type thing that you kind of get your mind into. And that happened numerous times to me, like 3 or 4 times, where I literally was thinking like, okay, that's it. I just can't, emotionally can't do this anymore, because like you put your heart, soul, literally blood, sweat, tears, all of it into this, and then you don't get what you want out of it. It's hard. It's a hard struggle, and so I want to have in my hands the 100,000 subscriber plaque. That is something I want to get to, and that's something that really means a lot to me.
Sweet, man.
Anyway,
that
felt like a very.
It was good. You're definitely your passion and your frustration and your
all
hope is
came
definitely
out.
coming out.
What's up,
My
guys?
incredible cousin, Mr. Eric Harmin. It's been an honor hanging out with you.
It's been a fun day. We shot a lot. It's been a blast.
Aside from being, fellow filmmakers, and we're cousins.
Yeah, exactly.
And friends. And I'm trying to get my channel started. He's given me a lot of advice and input. This is what I want to do for the rest of my life.
Yes, dude. Yes.
Hey, what were we talking about earlier? We said we can only get better from here.
Yeah, we can only go up from here.
It can only go up from here out there.
Exactly.
So it's been great.
It's been awesome.
We're going to use this as a catalyst to just push on and keep going. So adventure on, baby.